Praise Lord.
Yeah. So good evening to all of you and welcome to this evening's review session that we are having. And I'm excited, there's something that common in all of us is that we are all learners, isn't it? So, and as I mentioned to you last time, we would be using some of the chat box as well and to communicate. And so please make sure that you use your chat box as and when it is required. And the second thing is we will be also using some of the polls for our evening's learning. So I would request you to keep your mobile phones handy. If you're using your Zoom on your mobile phone, um, please get somebody else's phone and keep it handy so that we will just do some short exercises as we move on. Are you all excited this evening? If yes, type S. Okay, so yeah, just type S if
Yes.
you are excited. Okay, I'll give a thumbs up. Very good. Okay, Shonandra, where are you from? Shonandra, is that you? Did I pronounce your name right?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shonder. Yes, I'm from
Chandar.
Manipur.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, Manipur.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so wow, we are all excited, and there are a couple of people still more joining this review session. Okay, so good. So we will move on with our evening's learning and also the review as well. Um, there are two batches that are included in this session. One is, the batch which has completed almost a month. And there's one more batch which is 1 week short of a month. Okay, so we have two batches that are doing so that I thought I'll just club this together to do a review session with both the batches. Okay, Prashant, you're taking care of admitting people as well, isn't it? Okay, thank you. So let me just start my screen sharing. So can you all see my screen?
Yes, Anna.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Anna.
Okay. Good.
Yes.
So this is a smartphone review session, and all of you were there on 26th September for the main session, and also for one more batch on the 3rd of October. So we had totally about I think 120 or 130 participants. But some of them were not able to join the WhatsApp community. So the nuggets that we are posting and all that things, they are missing out, some of them. But nevertheless, if there is one also, I would still do this review session. Okay, so I am committed to give you what I have been learning. It's not that I'm not saying that I have learned. I have been learning because we are all lifetime learners. Okay, so keep that in mind, learners. So we need to continue to learn. So the moment that we say that, okay, I have learned a lot of things, that is where our learning stops. So be a lifetime learner, and photography is a skill where we need to continue to learn. Okay, so I'm learning from my interactions with you on WhatsApp and on giving assignments or nuggets or shooting photographs. So we are all lifetime learners. So that's one of the things that I want to mention to you. And this evening, um, let us look at how our learning is going. Okay, so here I would like us to just unmute our and then just speak out and just give a short, maybe about 10 or 15 seconds, your learning journey that has been so far. I'm just going to mute my mic.
it is a good experience to touch with different programs in the mobile itself. Regarding camera, actually, what all the things we need to do in the mobile camera, smartphone. So I could learn, and also it has been giving the what we can say that more interest to take shoots.
Okay, thank you, Mr. George.
Yeah.
Rule 3 by 3 was helpful. So as I went, organic shapes, natural scenes, learning, shooting, it was very, very helpful to me.
Okay, good. Thank you, Mr. Malana. Yeah, this is time for you. Just share. There's no right or wrong. Let me just think. Okay. Yes, others as well.
Yeah, actually, I tried to put my WhatsApp profile picture long time back, but I didn't do it because I didn't like any my photographs. But finally, I could take one photo and I edit it and I could put it. So which I didn't I like so much.
Wonderful.
So I could do myself. That's a great thing.
Wonderful. So I have to go visit your WhatsApp profile photo now.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you, Mr. John Praveen.
Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. You're with DBI, right?
Pardon me.
You're with DBI or IEM?
IEM.
IEM. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So others, quickly, we don't have much time.
This is my very first time experience involving in the photographs or pictures, and just very few things I learned. It's a very joy for me to learn. Still I'm learning more, but whatever the things I have posted, it may be not correct, but we'll do our best by learning.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, we are all lifetime learners. So we are all learning together. I am learning
Yes.
along with you. Okay,
Yes,
Sister Gloria.
Yeah, I think it's been a lovely learning experience for us in DBI. As I said before, we take a lot of pictures to report our work, and we have been helped greatly, all of us, to take better pictures, sharpness, light. We give a lot of testimonies, and that's what I suggested, that we could have more learning on how to take testimonies and people shots, but it's been great to learn so much. Thank you very much. It's
Wonderful.
a good investment.
Yeah, we have a couple of more assignments to go, because our assignments will go on for 2 months. So it's just 1 month, and we would still go on with some of those learnings as well. Xavier? Xavier, are you there? Okay. Anyone else
The everyday nuggets that you've been sending, the tips that you've been sending have been really, really helpful.
Thank you. So were you able to use them in some of your learning lessons?
Not too much, to be honest, but yes, in some of them, yes.
Okay. So you can just preserve them, because that would be with you. Like whenever you want, you can just brush through it.
Refer it back to them, yes.
But we would also I will share my the video, the first batch, the second batch video that I've shared already, the thing. So the third batch also I will share the videos. So you can keep that. So whenever you want, you can just brush through it as well. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, Mr. Andrew. Yeah. Others? We have time for another 2 people.
pictures. So the assignments are a plus for me.
Can you just speak up, please?
I was referring to the assignments that we have, the weekly assignments. Those are
Okay.
really helpful.
Okay. Yeah. I hardly see some people completing their assignments. The one of the reasons that we've been structured these assignments in a way that we start thinking out of box. In the sense, when you have an assignment saying that, okay, click all that things which you see on the ground, because in the assignment it says we always click pictures which are to the eye level. We don't click pictures which are on the ground. So it will help us to think out of the box, out of what we are doing. So yeah. Sonandra. Okay. Sorry if I mispronounce your name.
That's okay. Yeah. It's just how most of the time we try to learn like the complex things and everything, but then I think it has been very helpful to start with the basic, like cleaning the lens, or
Yes.
that has been really like, so whenever I take a picture, we always remember, okay, first we need to clean the lens. So even if it's a very simple thing, I think we should always start with the right basics. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. There are also a couple of other basic tips that we need to learn. Since you mentioned this, I'm just adding on to this is make sure that you keep your mobile battery charged.
Yes.
Okay, so you know what? I'll just tell you one of my experience. It was a very bad experience that I had. I have this, the DSLR camera, the bigger camera.
Yeah.
So I have two batteries on it, and I was in Bali in Indonesia, and we had to go for snorkeling. Okay, so I had put one of the batteries in the slot to charge overnight, and then the battery that was there on my camera was just 5% thing. So in the morning, I just woke up and I just picked up the camera and then went for snorkeling in the morning. And I went there and I started clicking the pictures. Within a minute, my battery died. And you are in the middle of the ocean, and where do you get the battery from? So, and I regretted. I said, I just wasted my entire experience there. I would have clicked nice coral reefs and those kind of. So those are some of the basic things that we need to remember. Okay. Anyone else? One more we have time for.
Whatever the things that you have told of the basic things and all the settings that you have told is very helpful. We know the settings are there, but the section was helpful to how to use it properly and to make it to get good pictures. Thank you.
Okay, good. We will just carry on. And then the next screen that we have is you need to take your mobile phones and just, log into one of the websites that I just give you. Okay, so this is just a minute. I'll put it on the chat box so that you can just log in this. Just a minute.
And brother, maybe others wants to say something, they can put it on the chat.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So if you haven't said anything about the course, it would be nice if you put it on the chat for brother, to encourage Brother William all the time he's speaking to us.
Okay. So I have a link that I have shared in the chat box. You can just open that link, just click and open that link. Okay, so once you open the link, you will be on this screen. Okay, and if it asks for code, the code is already there, 8291307. 8291307.
307.
Okay, let me just share my screen. Okay, so here you go. Do you see in your mobile phones this question? Once you click on that link, it will get you to, it will ask you a question, and you'll have about 3 or 4 options that you can type in. Okay, what word do you remember in photography learning? Or words? Are you able to log into the site?
Yes.
Okay. So you can just, once you log in, you will have this thing, and you'll have options where you can type your feedback. So you can just type in and then say submit. Okay, panorama, good. It comes up on your screen as well. So you can see that as you type in, it comes up on the screen.
Oh.
Yeah. So we know what people are typing, but we do not know who is typing what. So don't worry, like. I mean, this is, oh, good, focus. This is a review session. So we'll just, this is a very informal session that we are having. So good, exposure, angles, rule of thirds, wonderful. And focus is, most of you all have shared about focus. Angles, clean the lens, look at the background.
Oh, this is very nice.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'll share this tip with you, Sister Gloria. This is very nice.
Yes, this is lovely for any of our.
Yeah, so I mean, there are a lot of other ways that you can do this as well. I'll just share with you individually. So good, like get down level. Okay, that's wonderful. Like, yeah, you need to get down to the eye level, and then great, manual settings. I learn how to take photographs. Okay, perspectives, wonderful. Capturing the nature, bird's eye view, wonderful. Drawing with lights. So I think many of you have been kept your focus on focus. Focus and rule of thirds are most of you have typed out, and then grid. So as many people type, this cloud starts increasing. Like so if people like if 5 or 6 people have typed focus, this cloud starts increasing. Okay, so good. So we have another 30 or so. Okay, reflection, golden hour, blue hour, wonderful. Oh, I'm so glad that we are all learning a lot of words. ISO, okay, angles. Okay, so what are the point of view? Very good. Point of view, and maybe aperture. Good. Okay, sharpening. Sharpening also is a very good. Okay, so great. Okay, so. So either 10 seconds and we will move on. Structure is one of the things. Lights, yeah, panoramic mode.
Very interesting.
Okay, good. Yeah. So the focus and rule of third and light has kept its presence. Yeah. And other words are adding on to it. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So good. Okay. Okay, so I would stop this here, and then we will move on to our next next question. Okay, so just a minute. Let me just. Okay, so here you go. Now, what kind of photography you like? For the batch who's completed your
Mm,
tool I had given yesterday, there were different types of photography that I
yes.
mentioned. So what is some of the, photographies that you like? Some people like landscape, some people like to, click on portrait or, the macro. Macro is the minute things, yeah. So you can just type in, you have glamour, you have street photography, you have different types of wildlife, bird photography, there's different ones. So I just like to know your taste, this is just a thing to know your taste. Portrait is more to do with people.
Yeah.
Okay, so that close-up photos or people, and landscape is more to do with the sceneries, your mountains, your the green, the nature. Okay, aqua photography, wonderful. Wow. So you need to do a scuba diving course. Yeah, you need to get your PADI license and do a scuba diving course to get the aqua. But that's very interesting, actually. Like, one of my friend is a marine biologist, and he was, he did his scuba diving course and got a PADI license, and then he got a job in, I think in the UK or so, to adopt a killer whale and study its behavior. So scuba diving is very interesting, and food photography. Wow, that's interesting. Food, wildlife, and landscapes. Stands strong. Portrait, moving objects, food. Wonderful, wonderful. Is there anything else? In another 30 seconds, we are going to wind this up. Okay, so the batch of 3rd October, you haven't had an opportunity to have that slide, but the batch of 26th September had this opportunity that I had put all the, different types of thing. As a student with National Geography, I learn almost all the things that you've been posting it here, like, the food, wildlife, nature, glamour, street. Wow. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. But you need to have one particular zeal. You cannot be master of everything. If you're a wildlife, then you have to choose wildlife. If you like portrait, you need to choose portrait with other things. Okay, good. So other 5 seconds, we will wind this up. Okay, so wonderful. Thank you so much for participating in this. What do I say? Quiz or feedback or? Okay. Okay, so we will just move on with our other things that we have. Okay, so that was very interesting to know, the kind of, the interest that you people have in photography. And thank you so much for sharing your learnings as well. Some people have put their testimonies in the chat as well. Okay, so this was one of our visitor to our campus. Okay, just a couple of weeks ago. We haven't had, the tortoise seen in our neighborhood anytime. We have got plenty of snakes. Okay, plenty of snakes in our neighborhood, but tortoise was something very unusual. So if you notice this, like, it is just a head-on, like, so I'm getting down to the tortoise. Okay, one is like, you can just stand and click a tortoise, and you can just get his back, his helmet. But if you can get down your lens, and last time I shared your lens, if your lens is on the down here, get this to the ground so that you get this view. Okay, so you don't have to, you can lie down on the ground if you're flexible and if your body permits to, but get this lens here and use your click button here. Okay, use your click button to in order to get the click. So this is one of the things. I'm just showing you a couple of things that you can do. Okay, This was taken yesterday. This actually is called. I had posted this. What's the name? I forget the botanical name of that. This is called hexagonia. Um, hexagonia. That's a kind of a fungus which grows on the dry branches. Okay, and this becomes very big. We had one which had almost become like a rubber, like, it was very hard to break it. See, in the sense, like, keep watching over. Why I'm telling you this is watch over, because these are very unique things that you rarely see. When you're walking or when you're going your mobile phone is there with you. That is how you start learning how to shoot more photographs, like, and start learning from it. So keep watching. That's one of the things that I would like to mention here. Okay, don't say, okay, I'm going for a photo shoot, but always be prepared that, you are doing something part of it. So this is one of the fungus. Okay, so this is again, like, you have the foreground and then you have the background. So it's just a framing of the image part of it. And this is again, like, you have a huge cloud on just over the road. Okay, so in the sense, be prepared. Be prepared for something like, when you're driving, you may not have time to stop and click sometimes because of the traffic, but be prepared to get the thing. However bad shot you get, also just, have the, things captured. Okay, this is also one of the things that was captured yesterday. So, okay, and then this is again a full frame flower. Okay, so you have a full frame flower. Okay, so this is again a cottage, which also stands at the rule of the third that we'll be talking about. Okay, and here is the assignments that we all were able to do, and most of us were able to do. So week one assignment was, we were asked to shoot a photograph with one is a low exposure and one is the overexposure. Okay, underexposure and overexposure, burst shot. And then one was a leaf, be creative in your shooting. Okay, so the second assignment was pick a shape, and some of you were able to submit your photographs. And the third assignment was shoot reflections. Okay, so, and the fourth assignment was only photograph things on the ground. Okay, so now if you look at these assignments are planned with a purpose for us to, start looking at different shapes, because, we wouldn't, and some of the photographs are really amazing. I will just go through some of those reviews. Really amazing. So, where you can think differently. It is not the traditional style of clicking photos, but you people have really a creative eye. And as I mentioned to you during the course, 10% is your gear. That means 10% is your gadget, and 90% lies here. Okay, so don't ever blame that, I don't have a good expensive camera. Whatever you have, you go on. You need a eye. You need an imaginary eye. Okay, so and shooting reflections. Most of the times we actually see the reflection. Sunset, you have the sun rays falling on something and reflecting. You see the reflections, but hardly we notice the beauty of those reflections. Okay, so that was actually, if you haven't completed your assignment, please go back. You have those assignments on your WhatsApp group. Please go back and take time to complete those assignments so that you can start looking at different angles, different ways that you can think of. And then you would be wondering, wow, that was a wonderful thing. I haven't noticed this, that's a kind of a thing. And then, as I mentioned, that the fourth assignment was photograph things on the ground. For the next batch of 3rd October, you wouldn't have done this. You would have this on Monday. Okay, this assignment will be posted to you on every Monday. You get an assignment, and this will be posted to you on Monday. So photograph things on the ground. Okay, so we will move on. Now, today we will be looking at some of the photographs that you have submitted. Okay, and we will look at three areas of it. One is focus, exposure, and rule of thirds, very quickly. Okay. Now, this is one of the photographs that was submitted. Now, you have a chance to on this, give your feedback. Okay, and whosoever photograph is sharing this evening, I have picked up randomly. I have not taken all the photographs because that will be 121. But then some people have not submitted, so it was difficult for me to collate all the photographs and put it to the PowerPoint because the time is a constraint again. I've just picked up randomly, and if people are giving feedback, don't think oh, that was a bad, but this is a learning opportunity that we have. Okay, now what can be improved on this? Look carefully and answer quickly. Okay, focus. Okay, you can either chat or you can either speak out. Yeah.
Hiding things, the double flowers is looking, so you have to add that second flower.
Okay, okay. So double flower, focus, a rule of third. Okay, Nandini says rule of third. The flower should be focused. Okay, so Geneva says the flower should be focused. Good. Any other feedback? Focus on the center of the flower. Okay, okay. Okay, so keep looking at this. You remember the one of the few basic tips that I gave you and also shared a video also. First and foremost is, you clean your lens. And second thing is when you're taking the photographs, what do you need to do? Tap on your screen. So when you tap on the screen, what happens is the subject comes into focus. Okay, so this photograph is taken without tapping on the screen, in the sense without focusing. So the intention of the photographer is to click the the flower, but then what is happening here is you have the background in focus. The leaves are in focus, not the flower. Okay, unless the photographer says, no, I was actually taking the leaves. Okay, so focus is very important. Like you need to tap on the flower, okay, and so that the flower would come into focus and the background gets blurred. Okay, this is the one. So what could be improved on this? You can either chat or you can just unmute and then speak. You shouldn't be thinking so long. Okay, angle, frame, good. Okay. Yeah, these are some of the chat. Okay, you can just chat also, put it in the chat box. Angle, frame. Okay. Yeah. I mean, the framing could have been different and the angle also could have been different. So this is, maybe I would say that this was randomly taken photo. Okay, the angle, good. Okay, so this is, I mean, what do you see interesting in this?
Sure.
Rule of third, okay. Chandana, rule of third. Reflection, okay, good.
Shadows.
Okay, shadows, beautiful, yeah.
Background, good.
Okay, the background, okay. It also falls into the rule of third when you draw a line here, like this one and the reflection. It's a beautiful thing. It shows a very pleasant picture in the reflections as well. Yeah, thank you, Chandana. Yeah. Okay, reflection, good. Okay, so we'll move on. What could be improved on this?
Exposure.
Pardon?
Exposure.
Okay.
Focus.
Okay. What else? What else? Quickly, focus, exposure. Okay. So do you see a distracting background?
Yeah.
Okay. So main object is blurred. Okay. You have, if the object, my subject is the flower, the flower looks either overexposed and, blur, or, it doesn't stand on the rule of third. And also when you look at the background, background is too distractive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Uh, so those things can be kept, like, maybe I can just, you can just crop this a bit and, keep the flower under the focus, missing sharpening. Okay. You have 3 images here on the flower. Okay. So now the first image is on the left side with that flower, the same flower where you, that flower is there, and the second one is again the flower, and the third one on the right is again the same image of the flower. Okay, so now what can be improved on this photographs? What is something that is really disturbing you in these photographs? Maybe the left and the right one.
Background.
Background. Okay.
Yeah, background.
So what is happening with the background?
It is not exposed with the background.
Okay, the background is too busy. Okay, not exposed.
Yes.
Okay, then. Okay, so if you see this image on the left side here, okay, I can just get my mouse here. Okay, here, the left here. So here you see there's so much of disturbance over here. And also, while probably like, cropping, this could have actually been cropped. Maybe like, oh, sorry. I don't know where this has gone. Okay. So this one could have been cropped, and then here you see the wires and all these things. So what we see here is whenever we are taking the photograph, as I mentioned to you, there are a couple of things that we need to keep in mind. One is the background. Okay, so background also is very essential. So look at this thing. I mean, this is all for our learning. This is all for our learning. Like, there is nothing wrong in this. I have taken photographs like this. Okay, so it's all for learning. So keep your background and keep your shot tight, in the sense, if you're taking a flower, get the flower into the full frame. Okay, so that, you get that thing, and so that the background is again blurred. Now, this is the full frame photograph. Okay, so here the photographer has taken the photograph, but the foreground is blurred, but the background here, these leaves are in focus. Maybe the intention could be focusing this leaf or thing, but this is a full frame photograph, in the sense like he's not leaving any room for any distractions, much distractions, I would say. Okay, so this can be just used as a background, but but again, a lot of things could have been improved on this also. Like, this could be more a crispy image, with this kind of leaves, the texture that you have in the leaves, we could have made more a crispy image out of it. Okay, so yeah, keep looking. And this is one of the things with overexposed and underexposed. Okay, you must have done your exercise, your assignment on overexposing it and underexposing the image. So you see the difference between that, and then bring it to the middle thing, the exposure should be balanced, part of it. Okay, so this is again a full frame image. Okay, so the angle could have been different. The angle could have been different. Maybe, I could have taken this without the ceiling, those the grill or the fabrication work, the things that are there above that, without that I could have taken this. Okay, so So the angle could be different. So other thing I would like to mention is there is no rule of any angle that you want to choose, but except that, choose an angle which is really pleasing to you, where the background is not so distractive. Okay, so if the background is distracting the subject, then probably you need to shift the angle. And as I mentioned to you, sometimes you have a direct sunlight hitting. Okay, so sometimes you might have to change the angles. Okay, so keep those, all these things we learn by working. The more that you go out with your camera and start clicking, now we don't have 36 that film cameras, okay, where you're limited to only 36 shots. And if your shots go bad, then you're gone, but you have a mobile phone where you can review your photographs and click as many as you want. And the other thing I would like to introduce to you, just a minute. Those with Android phones, you can increase your what do you call the SD card, like 64 GB or 128 GB or so. But those with iPhone can use this kind of you can get this on Amazon. It's a scan disk. Okay, this what you see on your screen here that I'm showing. Okay, so you can get this on Amazon. It costs you about 2,000 rupees or something. So this directly goes into your mobile phone, where you put the charging pin. It just goes into this charging pin, and then you can get this thing. This is 128 GB or so. So when I'm shooting videos, and then when I'm shooting photographs on my mobile camera, I use this. I can directly, I'll just show you. I directly can, put this into here. Can you see this? I plug it in here. Okay, so this is my storage device. It is 128 GB, and this is a storage device. And once you have this, then it will ask you whether to allow this. And the photographs that you're taking need not save on your phone camera. It will directly save onto this gadget. Okay, so and you can just remove this and use the other side, the USB, directly plug into your computer and then start working on it. Okay, so this is one of the tips that you can have.
What is it called?
This is called ScanDisk. This is for iPhone. ScanDisk, I would say, I think it's external device for storage. You can I'll just share the link with you after this call on WhatsApp. Okay. So here are two more images. The left one is again distracting. I'm just trying to show us the different kinds of learning that we are going through. I mean, see, once you pass through this stage and look back your photos that you have taken 1 month ago, you would say, oh, that was such a bad photograph. So as you go on, okay, you start saying the 1 month ago, that's a bad photograph. Okay, so you have improved, that means. Okay, so this is just for our learning purpose. So here on the left side, again, the subject is too far, and then it is merged up with the background. And here the background is too distracting. Okay, so now this is one of the images that was sent. What could have been, what could improve on this photograph?
Was that to show the leaf?
Pardon me?
Was that the picture of the leaf?
Yeah, it's a picture of the leaf, yeah.
Yeah, I think the focus on the leaf, not on the other place.
Okay, focus on the leaf, okay. What else do you see from a learning, past 1 month's learning? What can I improve on this?
Background is too much.
Background is too much, okay.
And I think 3x3 formula is not used.
Okay, 3 by the rule of third is not used.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, so I'll just come out of this and then show you this image just for our learning purpose. Okay, angle should be changed. Okay, now you have this image over here. I'll just copy and paste this image here. Now, one thing that I can do with this is to improve on this. Okay, so one is the focus, the background. But if the background is thing, I can actually clear that background. Okay, so you can make it more tighter, the shot more tighter, but it still remains in the
focus.
Okay, so now when you look at this image and this one, okay, so obviously there is a difference in both the images. Okay, so your cropping also needs to, you need to think, there is so much of dead space over here. Okay, so once I crop that, then your eye is going to the leaf or, the small bud on the thing or flowers or something like that. But in the left side image, there's so much of distraction. One of the major distraction is the white, the glare over here at the background. Okay, so once you remove that glare and cut this and crop this, then your eye is directly going into your head. So keep thinking on different things and then start learning on these things. Okay, so here again, this is a good one. Like the flowers under focus and the background is blurred background, so there's not much distraction. But I would say we could have just gone in for a little more close up of those. Okay, so a little more close up of those flowers. Okay, so this is again like I always tell, like people are we are so obsessed clicking from 45-degree angle. That means the moment we look down something, we click it in that angle. Okay, so this is one of those shots, like you look down and then there's a flower and click from that angle, but get to the level of the object, the subject, that is very important, so that the entire in the nuggets that I have shared, one of the nuggets was that get down to the level, and and beautiful. That squirrel was so beautiful, isn't it? So that way, and this is again a very blurred image, like there is no focus. So once you review this, immediately you need to work on that, and the flower is somewhere and there is something else. So there is so much of distraction. I mean, these are initial photos that you guys have taken, like, so there are a lot of improvement after this as well. Okay, so this is one of the photographs. It's a full frame, but this is also like, probably one of the overexposed photographs, I guess, so that you see the colors and all that things. And I do not know what is my subject, whether it is a bucket or the leaves or the flower or the big leaves or something. So, so as a photographer, you should be able to tell your story through your photograph. You need to bring in your viewer and say, wow, this is what he's focusing. So this photograph distracts my attention. I do not know what I need to look at. What is the photographer trying to cover in this? Okay, so here, this is again like, my eye is not going anywhere else, but it's just going to the flowers that, those small buds, like, or isn't it? Is your eye going anywhere else?
But the orange is a bit distracting, isn't it, in the background?
Pardon me?
The orange color is distracting.
The orange color is distracting, but you also see that, there is a depth of field. That means the background is blurred. So once the background is blurred, our eye doesn't actually look at, draw the attention to the blurred background. Okay, so it more carries the attention to something which is in focus. But if my background was in focus, probably my eye would have just looked at the yellow immediately. Yeah. So, I mean, again, that was a good view also. Probably like, if you change a bit, you would have got more of a greenish background than that yellow standing strong there. Okay, so that's just my thing. Here, what is the subject? The subject is the pot and the plant there in the pot, isn't it? But what is happening here is the background is what is distracting me. There are grills, there are houses, there's a sky, and I can also see St. Peter there. Okay, so I mean, this is a very beautiful thing, but again, working in angles. Make sure that your viewer is not distracted with the backgrounds. Get your subject into attention of the viewer. Very, very important. Okay, this is one of the assignments that we did on the shapes. Okay, so and this was what I had posted, and this is one of the things that it's a neat image with the shape, showing something on the background there, and the shapes actually work well. You know why? Because you're actually forcing your viewer to look through that shape, so that your background, whatever is captured in the shape, is in attention. You must have seen some people putting those hands like this, like a heart sign, and then clicking. So immediately what happens is, now in this left image here, the moment I look at, my eye is going to two things. One is that building and one is that boat there. Okay, so that means you're actually telling you're bringing your viewers' attention and focus through a viewpoint. Okay, so shapes actually does a wonderful job if you can really work with it. And this is again, like using your what do you call? Do you remember what lines are there? Leading lines. Okay, so you have this leading lines here. So you have a nice quadrangle here, part of it. And this is one of the, I mean, this is a very interesting snap. The angle, I liked it. Okay, I like the angle. What I would have done here is given some more space on the top, in the sense my left edge over here, this left edge here could have been over here, so that there would have been some space here, and it would have perfectly stood under the rule of third. Okay, but nevertheless, this is a wonderful angle. I really like this. So working with shapes, like, is very important as well. Like, look at things from a different angle. It's one is flowers, one is like, the other one is the objects, looking at the shapes part of it. Okay, so, and look at this. Isn't it interesting? This is from the group. Okay, so this is very interesting. So why these assignments? You might be asking, every Monday there's an assignment to do, and some of us are not taken up, but get serious, because it will provoke your thinking. It will ask you to think differently and do different things, when you're shooting the photographs. Okay, and this is a ring, and then you just have a book, and then the light is from the opposite side. Okay, and this is a wonderful thing. Okay, so photography is all about creativity. Okay, and nobody can question your creativity. No one can say, oh no, this is wrong, this is right, and this is your creativity. But there are certain norms that we follow, like the rule of the third, or there are certain things, and get as much as creative you can. Look at this again. My eyes are not distracted anyway. It's directly going to the sun. Okay, so using shape. Okay, so these are different ones, like, and one is like this left side image is the image taken out of the mirror. Okay, so this is a reflection from the mirror. So she has taken the mirror and the background is reflected in the mirror. So, I mean, something like that. Once you start doing like that, you will start looking at things beautifully. I mean, see, one is, I always think, I mean, I'm so convinced with, creator being so creative. Okay, when you look at the evening sky, you have those beautiful pastel colors. such an amazing presentation display in the sky, the colors, magnificent colors. When you go onto the ground, we have this rain in Bangalore now. Every day we've been having rain and it's getting cold, and we have the snails coming from the opposite. There's a mango grove. The snails coming to our parking area, and evening, like 9 o'clock or 8:30, 9 o'clock, you see all the snails walking slowly into the parking area, and some look at that and they say, oh, this is the snail. Some even without noticing might stamp it. But when I look at those things, what I do is I grab my camera. Okay, so and you will see beautiful things. Keep watching. Keep doing things. Which gives you joy and able to see things in a different way. And look at this left one. It's just a paper folded, and this is a beautiful, the shape. And this is what ball is it? Does anyone remember? I somehow forgot about lens ball. Yeah, this is called a lens ball. Okay, so you can get that on Amazon as well. You can do a spectacular creative photographs using the lens ball. Okay, so if you are in the sunset, you can do sunset. It gives you a beautiful reflection. You just start using that lens ball if you are keen in getting creative photographs. Okay. And this is one of the images. What could have been improved on this image? I'm mindful of our time. So can you give me 10 minutes extra time?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe if they had taken it with the shape as a focus and taken it through the shape rather than the shape on the side.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For me, I would. I'm just looking at what is the photographer trying to capture through this, because there is a building, there is a fort or whatever it is. There's a thing on the left, and then there's a shape on the right. So there's, it's difficult to communicate with this photo unless you're saying the shape is looking at the building. The face is looking at the building. So when we're taking a photograph, this is just for a personal learning, friends. Don't get offended with these things. You can work out more creative on this. If you're concerned about the shape, get the shape into the frame. That face, that whatever, that monument or whatever it is. But so those are some of the things that needs to worked on. Now this is on reflections.
Wow.
And this I have actually taken from my previous batch photograph, not this batch, but the previous batch. I thought this is very interesting, so I'm just sharing this photograph. This is actually taken by Mary Nancy. She works with IEM. Okay, I mean, she's a volunteer with IEM. And she took this photo, and the photo, I have also shared the video in the group that, Campus Crusade had a photo competition, and she had just finished this photography course that we had, and she applied for this photography contest, and she shared this image, and she got the first prize. Okay, and cash prize of 1,000 rupees or so. So, and she was really excited, and she said immediately that she shared, sir, this is what happened and things like that. So, I mean, there are certain contests that keeps coming. I will share in the group. Just put your photographs. Just participate. Don't expect for cash rewards, but just participation is 100%. They would say when I was young in the school, they would say participation is prize one.
Yes.
Okay, so don't expect for the prize. That's a bonus, but participation is you already won the prize. Okay, so I will share some of the thing, and we are also planning to conduct a competition, a photo competition. So keep your things ready and then your photographs. So it will be a very interesting contest that we will be coming up in November for the Diwali, the Festival of Lights. Okay, so you can capture beautiful images of lights and stuff like that and tell a story out of it. Okay, so that's just a bonus for you all. And okay, so this is again a reflection with some water sprinkled on the plate, and then trying to get the vase reflected on the thing. I mean, the attempt is good. The attempt is good. The photographer is put in a lot of time to think creatively. Okay, so start thinking on those creative aspects. Now look at this.
Wow.
Okay, so I mean, this can be taken from a 90-degree angle on the top, like if you're a 5 foot or 6 foot from that, you could have taken, but the photographer has gone down to the shoots and taken. This is a beautiful, you can see this kind of photographs when you get, you can just tell a story out of it. Okay, so so you can just plan. And this is again with the leading line. Okay, and then you have the horizon there, so in the rule of the third. Okay, so that I just took this thing. Here again, like this small little seed on the ground. Okay, small little seed on the ground. I'll just show you something here before we now. Okay, just a minute. Okay. Anyway, that's not working. I had put something on the background there that's not working. Thing. So here again, look at this seed. This is a very tiny object on the ground, on the floor. I mean, on the ground. Sorry. So if you're able to get the close-up of that, you're able to get this, into attention. Okay. So some of those things, just a reflection on that. And this is what I had shared in the group, the nugget number 6, overexposed, underexposed, and proper exposed. Okay, so and many of you all have participated. So this is some of the important things. You have the cleaning of lens, then tapping on the screen to keep your subject under focus, and then you have you just move your finger up or down on the screen to correct your exposure settings, overexposed and underexposed and proper exposed. So this is the basic things that we can use in order to get a photograph ready, and obviously the role of the third. Okay, so start taking the photographs with this 3 thumb rules. Focus, exposure, rule of third. Okay, just concentrate on this 3 for the next 1 week or so, and take at least 5 to 6 photographs every day, and start comparing with your previous photographs. You yourself will see, and that kind of a wow, things comes up into your mind, okay, in your brain. And as I mentioned to you, the rule of third, it's again a review of what we learned. Okay, as I mentioned to you, this is how your eye scans according to the rule of third. 41% over here on your top intersection left, 25% on the bottom here intersection, 20% and 14% here. So when you're framing your images, you can just think of those. Sometimes your angle doesn't permit. Now I can't, the flower that you see here, I can't put the flower over here because the flower is facing this way. Okay, so when the flower is facing this way, it needs to be on the right. If the flower is facing, this way, then probably I could have put that over here. You got it? If the boy is facing this way, I could have put him on to the right intersection, but the boy is facing towards my right. Okay, so the framing could be good on the left here. Okay, so any questions? I think I'm almost done with my slides. Okay, any questions?
Sorry, Brother William. We can also change the picture around, right?
Yeah, you can see, one is like, while you can flip the picture. Yeah. You can flip the picture, but sometimes what happens is people will know, see, because see, my graph is like this, but if you flip me to the other side, it looks very, unnatural sometimes. Okay, but with the flower, you can do it. With the flower, you can do it, not with people. People, if you flip, you can see the thing, it looks very unnatural because you're, unless you have not seen that person before. If you've seen the person before, like, you can think. But you can flip the flowers. Yeah, you can flip, you can crop. But what I say is, keep your editing to a very minimum. In your, how many of you all are using Snapseed? Okay. If you're using Snapseed, just type yes. Okay. Okay. So in Snapseed, you see, there are a lot of functions in this. There are a lot of functions in Snapseed. So what you can do is perhaps you can just start working on other functions also. There is one called the HDR. Okay, let me just mute. Okay. So there are a lot of functions. There is one function called in a tool called HDR landscape. But if you put that, it will actually blow up your entire thing. It looks so unnatural. And, you actually, feel that you have overworked on that. So try to do that. And some of the assignments are coming up now, which will start forcing you to think differently. And when that assignment comes, you would surely would know why I have planned that assignment. Okay, so it is probably like a 6th or 7th or 8th assignment or something like that. But one thing I would like to mention to this group and these two groups is, though we are only 26 of us, but I would be just keeping it in the group. I'll be posting on this. See, my idea is that when we complete the 10th assignment, each of us would be able to open a photo blog. Okay, and start telling the stories through that. See, some of the stories are like, you cannot take, one of the rules is if you're taking a portrait and putting it onto a social media, you need to get the consent of the person. Okay, unless you get the permission from the person, please do not post his photograph. Okay, that is very much important. But if you're posting street photograph or, your landscape or something, and just tell a story about it. Okay, I would post a Himalaya and they say, oh, this is Annapurna range. We started early in the morning at 4 o'clock. We drove to a mountain top and it was so cold. See, you start narrating the story. It is very important. Even though it is 4 lines, you should be able to narrate a story out of it. And when I posted yesterday about the fungus, I do not know anything about the fungus. What I did was I just Googled. And second thing is, did I tell you this? You can download this app called Answer the Garden. Answer the Garden. Okay, Answer the Garden is one of the app. So once you download the app, you open the app and it will open your camera. Okay, you click any photograph of a flower. Within 2 seconds, it will give you the entire history of the flower, the botanical name, where this flower is from, okay, so which region it is from, and all that beautiful information. Okay, so there are apps now. We are in a generation, we are in a time where we don't have to struggle too much, and that's why it's made us lazy. Okay, so you have apps for anything. So when you're taking a flower and when you're posting a flower, give a description of that flower, give a botanical name of the flower. And then, you will gain respect. People will think, oh, have you done, botany or, or zoology or, people start wondering about it. But you should be able to, give description, tell a story out of your photographs. Keep that in your mind, because we are all doing this photography thing, but you should be able to tell a story out of the photograph. But one thing is, the other thumb rule that I would share, I do not know many of you would like this or not. What I have learned from my mentor when I was learning photography was, never shoot an animal or a bird inside the cage. Okay, so don't shoot a bird or an animal which is in captivity. Okay, so they say that is, I don't know, that's very inhuman for a photographer to shoot something which is captivated. Okay, capture something which expresses that freedom. So once you photograph a bird which is in the cage, it doesn't talk about freedom. It talks about captivity. Okay, it talks about so are you getting my point? Yes. Okay, good.
Yes.
So talk about freedom. Talk about different things. Okay, so start reducing. If you're taking a photo of the birds in the cage or animal in the cage, or monkeys in the cage. Okay, I would not personally encourage that that thing. Okay, so because most of us, when we go to zoo, we start taking photographs. I would never take photographs in the zoo. I would never take photographs. I would take photographs in the national park where the animals are let loose and they enjoy their space and freedom, but not a bird which is in the cage. Okay, hope I'm communicating that well to us. Okay, so because a bird in a cage is captivated, a bird outside is freedom. Okay, so the thing. So that's one of the things, and then you can either open your photo blog or you can open a private a private Facebook page. Private, okay, with your username on the past, and you will be the moderator. You can only invite people who you think would appreciate your photograph and share something out of it. But you will all be invited to my photograph page, okay, the Facebook page. I have not had my online presence anytime before. Okay, so I'm just working with a very small, a limited number of audience, learners. So I don't have a YouTube channel. I don't have a Facebook page of the photography thing. I just have a Facebook page of my own. But I am actually talking about I would actually be inviting you onto my private Facebook page, where that would become a community of learners. You will all be there. Okay, and there will also be other expert photographers who will be commenting on our photographs. Okay, I'm very cautiously using the word our photographs, including mine. Okay, so that would be a wonderful experience, and that will be limited to only on invitation, not to public, and nothing of your photographs would be shared in public anywhere in any domain. Okay, so that's it. I think we will have some time for question and answers, and if not, then we can wind up, but you can always ask question and answers. Prashant is also taking down the questions if you have posted anything in the chat. Okay.
So you're going to teach us more about taking portraits. Is that something that you will do in the future, or you're not planning?
Yeah, I'm actually, after this batch, I'm actually going into a specific area of interest. Like it will only be about portrait. So it would not be about anything else. It will be just about portrait. And I will be working on how do you post process your portraits. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do you angle them? Because there are others also in this group, but some of the people who are working in NGOs, like there are some photographs which can't be directly shown. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do you keep those sensitivity into perspective? Okay, and then still take a photograph. Okay, so there are different angles that I'll be working on portraits, like, because especially when you are reporting to your people who are the stakeholders of the work that you're doing. So there are certain things that we need to be cautious. We can't just show the face directly. And I'm actually doing with one of the organizations on 27th. I don't know if you have heard of Oasis. I'm doing exclusively for them on 27th a 3-hour workshop, keeping only their work in mind. Okay, so the work that they are doing, they actually work with. They rescue women and children from trafficking and so on and so forth. So that's one of the things that I'm working with them exclusively to enhance their skills in the area that they are working in. Okay, so and also in future I will be doing on a video. So how do you shoot videos, and what are some of the key components when you do a video presentation?
That's excellent.
Suppose when you yourself is, or you, when you're talking, when you're presenting a video, there are 5 components that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so which will so, and then I would also show a beautiful, I mean, the couple of beautiful websites where you can draw an amazing contents for your videos. Okay, that would be a wonderful session. But I will keep you in the loop and then do that thing. So it's a video making. It's a video making workshop. You would see most of these things on Facebook, YouTube. How to do video making and all that things. You can, people who have joined there have come out with disappointment because that learning will end unless the sale happens.
Yes.
Okay, once the sale is happened, then you may not really have access to your mentor. But here we want to give value to our learners, okay, and enable our learners to take good photographs and make good videographs, okay, so that it will help in their workplace as well. So, any questions? Okay, so if there are not many questions, I would just quickly introduce you to something and then wind up part of it. You would.
Okay. I have one question.
Yes.
Today's lessons don't shoot crooked horizon. What does it mean, the crooked horizon?
See, today's, if you have seen that horizon is probably, let me get that for you. Okay, where is this? Okay. Let me just share this. Okay, this is what you were talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so here you see this line here, the ocean, that horizon here is crooked, in the sense it is slanting like this.
Okay.
Okay, so this is not a pleasing photograph. So you can, when you're working on Snapseed, the first one that that we went through, perspective, there you can actually rotate this image to make it straight. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So any other questions? Otherwise, I'll just show you this and then wind up. Okay, let me just spot out. What you can do is, if you're having your mobile phone cameras, I will actually be posting these things. You can use some lens for your mobile phone photographs. Okay, so this is a macro lens where you can use this lens for taking close up. What happens is, sometimes when you get closer to a flower or a ant or something, your photo gets blurred up. But with this lens, you can get extreme close to the image. So how do you use this? Is this one comes with, I will share the link also. It is not too expensive. It is about 2,500 or so. You get 2 lenses with that 2,500. Now this is a macro lens. Okay, so it's a macro lens with 1.45x wide angle with macro lens. Okay, and this is a clip that you get. So what you do is, you actually put the clip here and then tighten it here. And where you're using this is, you would use this on your lens here. You will clip it to your lens. Okay, so this is how your lens will clip into your lens. Okay, and then once you start taking the, I'll just show you the. Okay, so you'll actually see me now. Okay, so when you see, okay, so you can get extreme close up. Okay,
Yeah.
so you can see the
eye,
so with your normal lens that you have in a camera, if you come this closer, it gets blurred up. But here you can get extreme close up. This is one of the macro lens that you can plan for. The other one is this is a telephoto lens. Okay,
Wow.
so you can click the objects at the far distance. Now this is also very interesting. You can just you can actually plug this into this. Okay, it's just you need to do this and then take this out and put your camera here. Okay, and then bring your lens here. Okay, so it just gets your lens here. So you can also use your tripod. So your tripod can be fixed here. If you have a bigger tripod, you can fix your bigger tripod, because with the telephoto lens, even a little millimeter of a shake also will give a blurred image. Okay, so you need to get your tripod, and you can get so that your image is stable. Okay, so it doesn't move. And second thing is, when you're using a telephoto lens like this, make sure that suppose when you're using the telephoto lens, don't use this button. Okay, but use a timer. You have a timer here. You all have a timer in your thing. You have 3 seconds and 10 seconds timer. Now click on 3 seconds timer and then click on this button and then you leave it. So after 3 seconds, it will click. Why am I saying use the timer? Is when you're using a telephoto lens and when you click here, the little bit of shake in the camera will blur the image. Okay, so
where's the timer?
Pardon?
Where is the timer?
Oh, the timer would be on your camera options.
I never used it.
Yeah, you can go into the camera settings and then you can just see there is a small icon like this.
I found it.
Okay. Yeah. So when you're using a telephoto thing, you can just use the timer so that if you click here, you will not be shaking the camera. Yes. When you click here, sometimes the camera shakes when you press the click, and then you get a blur image. But this is one of the things. So these are two things that I wanted to introduce to you this evening. I will also
nowadays the new cameras coming with four lens.
Yeah.
So how can this fix over there?
You can fix it to one. You can align this to one lens. In the 4 lenses, you have a wide angle lens, and then you have a long telephoto lens as well. But you can just fix it to one lens if you want to. Okay.
Yeah. And how much this cost must be approximate?
This both together would cost you about 2,500 or something like that.
Okay.
But I will share the link with you, so you can just, if you're interested, you can plan to buy from Amazon. I will share the Amazon link with you. Part of it. So, any questions, or we'll just wind it up now? Last minute questions.
William, we get both in Amazon?
Pardon me? Yeah, we get both on Amazon. Yeah.
Okay.
So no
separate. It comes separate or together?
It comes separate. It comes separate. Yeah.
What is called the names? Even the lens and the micro.
Pardon me?
What's called the name? Both of that.
See, this one is. This is a mobile phone telephoto lens.
Mobile phone
telephoto lenses. This is what you get. The thing.
Yes.
The other one is a mobile phone micro lens.
William, any particular brand you suggest? Because there are few brands here.
Yeah, I will actually put the link some of the brands that are really good ones, because some brands are not really good. You might get cheaper than that also. You get for 500 rupees, you get for 1,000 rupees also. But those are not. I will suggest. I will put the brand as well.
Thank you.
So one question I would like to ask: when we shoot a camera on Zoom,
yeah,
the result is not clear. Is there any alternative arrangement for setting to make a more picture photos clear?
Say it again.
So when we shoot a camera on Zoom, the result is not clear.
Yeah.
And it is blur.
Yeah.
So is it possible that any alternative setting can be made in the camera?
See now, as I mentioned to you, this camera has got a optical zoom. So when I zoom this, this has got an optical zoom. Okay, so from here, standing here, I can zoom to get the far distance closure. But your mobile camera has a digital zoom. So that's the reason in one of the nuggets we have mentioned that never zoom your image. Never use your zoom. Once you use your zoom, then it gets pixelated. Now, what the difference between optical zoom and digital zoom is? Optical zoom gets closer to the subject, but digital zoom is it will just make the frame bigger. Okay, so it gets pixelated. So the other option is get closer to your subject if you're using the smartphone, or you have to use a telephoto lens for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so the name of the Garden app is called Garden Answers. Garden Answers on iPhone and also Google Play. There it's available. Okay, so I would be sharing some of those links also in the WhatsApp group as we progress. I think there are several things that we can use. Okay.
Is there any other good app for editing our photos, sir? More than that, Seed app like which you have provided. Is there another good apps? Can you recommend for that?
You have Photoshop Express. You have Photoshop Express, and then you have Photoshop Lightroom. Okay.
Sir, please you just put. Okay, you just put in the WhatsApp group so that we can just look it out.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're looking at the option, Snapseed is good. It has got a lot of features for editing. So I would recommend Snapseed. Then, if you're having a Photoshop on your laptop, it's a paid version which will cost you about roughly around 80,000 or something like that. That software will give you a lot of options for editing. Okay, that's a professional software. But if you're using Photoshop on your mobile phone, it is called the Photo Express. The symbol will be like this. Photo Express. Yeah, and you can also try Lightroom, Adobe Lightroom. Okay.
So show me once. Show me once.
Okay, this will be a mirrored image.
Okay.
Okay, this is sent on PS.
Sir, can you put up in the WhatsApp group so that we can check it out?
I will do that. I will do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but Snapseed seems to be a good editing app. So I have no issues with Snapseed because it will fulfill my requirements of what I need to edit. Yeah. Okay. So probably we have overshot 30 minutes. Okay, so but it was a good learning for me as well. Okay, and if there's no questions, I would like to express my gratitude for all of you for taking your time and being here. Although I expected at least 80 to 90 people joining this. Yeah. So, but anyway, the chosen ones are only few. Okay, so we can just continue our learning, and please make sure that you do your assignments, which will help you to learn a lot of things. And I'm committed for any kind of questions that you have at any time. You can just WhatsApp me. But during my office time, I would be restricted in answering. But post 5 o'clock, I will take up your questions as and when it comes. Yeah.
Sure, Anna. Sure, we'll do it.
Pardon?
Thank you, Anna. We'll do that.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.